Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, The Corporate Socialite Budgets. In today's video, I will be budgeting December's paycheck as well as the first paycheck of January 2023. So for starters, I'd like to say Happy New Year to you all. I know I've been missing for a couple of weeks now, but as an update, my mom did pass away right before Christmas time, so she passed away on December 17th. So once we got the news that she passed away, all business kind of started at that point. So we ultimately had to get funeral arrangements prepared and all other business matters situated as far as my household here in Florida, which I'm actually still here. I'm still getting things in order before going back to Ohio, because I just wouldn't feel comfortable leaving loose ends untied without making sure things are squared away. Okay, so I haven't truly budgeted the way I should have been in the past few weeks, so that's why my ready to assign looks a lot more padded than most videos. So I do want to take a few steps back. I went ahead and reconciled all my accounts just to ensure that all transactions are accounted for before moving forward with budgeting. But I want to move back to December just to add to my month ahead rollover so I could adequately roll the amount over to January and cover costs that would have already been accounted for. So here I would add in 108,798 so I could get my full month ahead in there. And I guess here I will also just add in any overspends. I don't know what this to be reimbursed. So also another heads up, whenever we would receive any funds, love tokens, I guess that would be the proper way to say that, I would add that directly into my 305E fund, which was here, and that ultimately covered all costs that were outstanding for the funeral, such as food for any of the gatherings that we would have following the viewing, also the cost of like tables and chairs, those different expenses all I've accounted for in my 305E fund here. So there is a little bit of money remaining, which I will more than likely just move over to my mom and dad's joint account just to ensure that different household expenses are covered in the coming months or whatever the case. So I do want to go back to this. I don't know. Wait a second. What do I do here? You know what? This is okay. I see what happened here. This is actually something I purchased on behalf of my boyfriend. He gave me the money back via Cash App, and then I used the Cash App money towards something else. So I didn't really account for that properly. So I might just allow that to roll over to the next month and just deduct itself. So let's do this 8740, and I'm going to go ahead and move forward to January. Different transactions have already come through, such as me paying my rent in Ohio and things like that, that I just haven't gotten the chance to roll over technically yet. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is put the full 1849.03 into the monthly rollover, and then I'm going to deduct the 2180 to move it to my ready to assign so I can allocate the money for the different expenses for January. Okay, so 2180 moved to ready to assign. Got it. All right, that works out. Now let's see. I'm going to go ahead and start adding money into my ready to assign. So, some of these things have already been paid for, such as rent. I believe, actually, I think rent is the only thing under Batty with bills that has been paid for. Okay, so let's do auto assign over here, and then underfunded. All right, that looks good. Gas, that's pretty tough. So I'm in Florida still. I've been using my mom's car, and her car is still financed. So I am determining with my brother whether or not we want to turn the car in, and or also we're considering just seeing what it does if we put it on Turo for maybe a month, and if it covers the payments as well as earns some sort of profit, then we might continue to do it. But if you watched my 305 budget video, you'd know that her car note is roughly a little under $600 that I wouldn't personally want to shell out. And obviously the household expenses for back at home, they need to be going solely toward the home, as well as any expenses that accrue for my dad, who also has dementia. So that's another element of some of my family dynamics. Hopefully I'm not rambling too much, guys, but as far as gas, I'm gonna just add in $50 since I would do that anyway. All right, so now let's move over to, let's see, to expenses. And as you can see, some of this stuff has already been paid for. So fifth, third interest no longer exists since that card is paid off. Then we have Audible, ADT security, Discover interest, Prime. All these things still have to be accounted for. And actually, I'm going to hold off on the Google certification because I just added that one in. Okay, so I'm going to take giving and stuff I forgot to budget off because none of that other stuff is included in my 1 month ahead. All right, so let's close that down. And I'm going to go ahead and do grocery. I'm going to leave it as it is for now. And then if I need to change it, like I mentioned with the expenses, then I will. Let's see, socializing. So this tab needs to be paid for. So let's see, it's underfunded by $259. Let's see where that money goes. See, apartment wish list. I'm gonna move that back because that's not something I'm concerned about anymore. And there's something, oh, you know what I usually would do is a minimum of $25 for each card. And I also have a new card that I forgot to add in prior to this. I did get a Best Buy card because I treated myself to a Christmas gift, retail therapy, I guess. And I purchased a new laptop, which is what I'm using now to do this budget. And I financed it through Best Buy. I believe the card itself has a balance of about $1,500 now. I'm going to add it in. Right here. It'll be unlinked Best Buy. I'm gonna put an estimate of what I think it is, and then I'll fix it once I'm able to gain access to the website. So the current account balance, I believe, is, I'm gonna just say $1,500. I'm gonna round it up and just say $1,500. Skip this for now. Done. Okay, that's added in. I'm not sure what the date is, but I'll move it up above 5th, 3rd, and I'll even go ahead and add in $25 there. So the plan with the Best Buy credit card, I'm going to more than likely sell my old laptop on eBay, and whatever earnings I make from that, then I'll go ahead and add all of that directly into the credit card just to pay it down. Unfortunately enough, it is interest-free for, I believe, 18 months or so, and I just hope to have it paid off within 18 months. So maybe I can even set a target to pay it off in 18 months. So I guess 18 months would be 2024, and I want to say maybe June. Okay, let's just say that. So that gives us a target there. It looks like I have about $106 remaining. I would add that directly into my, oh, you know what? That needs to go into Duke Energy because that's not paid for. All right, expand everything and go through this before I move the remaining money from my paycheck back into ready to assign. Okay, so let's see how we're gonna do this. Technically, I just need $1,092 in there right now. So I'm gonna do the full amount that's in there, which is $1849.03 minus 1092. Let's see if that works. Nope, that didn't work. All right, let me do the math quickly on my own. So I'm gonna move 757.03 cents to ready to assign. Okay, that works. I do want to go ahead and discuss my credit card pay down status before moving on to any budget allocating. So just based on the past 2 weeks or maybe 3 weeks that it's been, I have obviously spent on my credit cards, and the progress might be slightly different than it was before. At this point, Chase Sapphire is 19% paid down. Discover has went down to 9% paid off. Capital One has went down to 25% paid off, and a Fifth Third is obviously 100% paid down. I will go ahead and swap out Fifth Third for the Best Buy pay down status once I'm aware of the full balance that's due there. I am going to go ahead and add money to my emergency fund, and I'm going to go ahead and add $100. I think that's safe. And then 305 expenses. So now what's going on for awareness, my brother and my uncle, they both live at home, and my mom pretty much covered all things. So I am taking point on expenses at home. So now both my brother and uncle pay me directly for rent, and then that money goes directly into her account. So this is 305 expenses, so I'm going to create another category group that's just for, it's going to be all things 305, and we maybe even can add some sort of palm tree there. Okay, I don't even know where it went. Here it is. I'm going to move this down under Batty with Bills. And I'm gonna move, how can I move this? Okay, perfect. And then also the 305 E-Fund. I wonder if I want to move that. Yeah, I will. So I wanted to keep it under sinking funds, but it might do better in the 305, just so I could have that at top of mind when I'm considering 305 things. I'm not even sure. I know that there is some cash I have to deposit, so that's more than likely why that is short $30. Let's see. So right now I'm going to just cover that cost. And once I deposit the $30 that was given to me in cash, then that'll replace that money. All right, and then I do want to kind of reevaluate some sinking funds since it is the new year. So my emergency fund is okay. I did end up spending the full Christmas amount because once family started to come in for the funeral, I wanted to make sure that while they were here that they at least got something for Christmas, since we all were technically, you know, going through a difficult time. So I did spend more money than I thought I would, but that's okay. I feel fine doing that. So I'm gonna go ahead and set up another target for $1,000, and I want to go ahead and do that by December of 2023. Oh, actually November, I guess by Black Friday. Yep. All right. Okay. And then it says I need $10.76 more needed for this month, so I can go ahead and easily do that. Okay. Maybe one day I will consider getting the Louis bag, but it's kind of not on the radar at this moment. But I'm going to set a savings goal for, maybe I can try to purchase this bag by December of this year. Maybe that'll be the Christmas gift to myself. So let's add that in. Why is it so much more now? Something is weird here. You know what? I need to do savings balance. That changes it. So I figured something was wrong. I'm gonna still keep my $10 there. Let's just add $20 to that. And I'm gonna add $20 here as well. I could hide this now. Dues, I believe that's still $200. So I'm going to update that to, is there not a way that this can just be changed easily instead of going through all of this, the arrows? Let's say March. So this one I'm going to push up some. So my boyfriend and I have decided to set up some sort of joint vacation savings because we take a lot of trips, especially in the past year or two. We've traveled a lot together, and when we get on these trips, we decide to kind of go half on a lot of expenses, such as like dining out or, you know, excursions when we're on trips and whatever the case. So when we are on trips, it'll cover cost like eating out, but it won't account for getting there because that'll probably deplete the entire savings fund quickly. So at this point, we have a goal to save $1,000 by Q2. I'm going to go ahead and close this down. Let's see. I'm going to collapse all of these. And this is okay. I think I'm still short a little bit because last month I spent $388 in some areas. So I want to see where that money goes. Wait a second. No wonder a lot of these are not funded. No wonder I have so much extra money. I hope you guys are still here with me. I know this video is probably all over the place. I hope that you're still sticking through it. Maybe if you guys want to leave some sort of purple heart in honor of my mom in the comments if you've made it this far in the video, that'll be cool. I appreciate you all for bearing with me. Okay, let's see. I'm going to go ahead and do spent last month. There we go. That's how it's supposed to go. All right, that looks good. And I do think that Curology is going to be sent this month. I think things are looking better. And I'm quite sure that Capital One interest will be more expensive than 53 cents. It might even be at least $15. So I'm going to just add that in case. All right, cash. I believe we're good here, and fortunately enough with this jet setting, some of my sorority sisters were so kind and they sent me money to be able to fly back home to Ohio whenever the time is right. So they sent me about $575 that I've added directly into jet setting, but if there is a need for me to spend it on some sort of emergency or anything else, then I will do that. And I want to eventually go back home for a few days because I am still here with this small carry-on bag that I took with me to Vegas, which was right before Thanksgiving. So I've never made it back home to Ohio. And I'm working with about 6 to 7 different tops and maybe 3 or 4 different bottoms. So I've been just doing some rotating with outfits, but I'm running out of clothes. So I eventually want to go back home and swap some things out. So I want to at least do that so I can come back and make sure Business is still getting situated. I don't want to be gone for too long. All right, and I need to check if I did any quad pays or Klarnas. I think I should be done with those payments. Triple check here. So it looks like I only have $25.77 due, and that's the last payment. What was it? It was actually not the last payment. All right. Okay, that's fine. I do think that these are all okay. Cash is good. That's fine. I'm gonna add $50 here. I'm gonna move gifts and donations to birthday. Whose birthday is this month category. And I probably can add a little bit more to dining out just in case. And I'll do 50 there. All right, we're good. And I'm going to go ahead and add more funds to my credit cards. Let's just do 20 on each of them. And then whatever is remaining after that, I will go ahead and add back into my emergency fund. Sorry, not emergency fund. I'll add it into my month ahead rollover. Okay, looks like everything is assigned. My age of money is still under the 30 mark. That is the goal. So age of money to improve, credit card payments to go down, and emergency fund also to improve. So I appreciate you all so very much for sticking it out with me. If you've made it this far, maybe you can add a star emoji down below. I'd appreciate that. And I appreciate you all so much for the extra kind words, even prior to you all's knowledge of her passing. It has been difficult, and I am keeping busy, keeping my mind occupied with work now, of course, and family work now. So that's another thing that's added to my radar. And I do plan to continue to be consistent with my budget now that I have another household, as far as expenses go, added to my plate. So I look forward to seeing you all quite often and adding some more content and different styles of content to this channel. So I appreciate you all in the little community that we do have. Thank you so much, and I will see you in the next video. Bye guys.